Hey guys, this video is going to introduce you to 4 different ways of reducing your image sizes using Photoshop. The first one, we're going to scale the images, then we're going to crop, then we're going to change the format, and finally reduce the quality. So I'm going to be using this sunset image here, and if I right click on it and click on properties, you'll notice it says that it's 1.12 megabytes. Now, because we're beginners at Photoshop and at web design, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a maximum size of 200 kilobytes. So see if you can get your images to be under 200 kilobytes. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open Photoshop. So I'm going to click on the Windows key, just start typing in Photoshop, and there it is. Hit the Enter key, and that's going to open up. Usually takes a second to load, and once it loads, I'm just going to pause here. Okay. So when Photoshop opens up, this is what you're left with. Your recent area, as well as you've got a new and open. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on open, and I'm going to open sunset because that's the image that I'm going to be working with. Right, now I'm just going to move this where you can see it. Right, so first thing I want to do is I want to show you about scaling your image, and this is the easiest way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on image, I'm going to click on image size, and you'll notice that the original size, you'll see the width is 91 centimeters and the height is 68 centimeters. And that's huge. When you think about it, that's almost a meter wide and almost 3/4 of a meter in height. That's pretty huge, and that's pretty standard for a camera to take an image that size these days. So of course we have to shrink it down to make the images download faster to the user. So notice it's jumped to 14.4 megs at this point in time. Whew, that's big. Right, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to change the width here. I'm going to change that to 50 centimeters. And you notice what happened there is as I typed the 50, the height also changed. All right, and that's because they're locked together by this chain. If you don't want them, if you want to change them separately, you can just click on that chain and then you can change these. So maybe you want to change that to 38. Okay. Right, now notice my resolution is at 72 dpi, and I can change that as I please, but look, 72 is just fine at this point of time. I'm going to click OK. I'm now going to go File, go Save As. Never do a save, by the way, if you want to keep your original photo. If you do save, it's going to overwrite the original. So I'm going to do a Save As, and I'm going to call this Sunset Scaled. And I'm just going to click OK. Right, so there's the sunset scaled. If I click on the properties, you'll notice that it's now 167 kilobytes, which is less than what we need. Now, what I'll do here is you can actually have a look at. I've set my screen too small. You can't actually see in the bottom left-hand corner. It's actually got the size of the images, but maybe I'll show you that in another video. Anyways, I'm going to go back and open the original sunset, and I'm going to show you the cropping tool. And this is the cropping tool here. It's pretty standard in most image editing software that you've come across. So once you've done that, there's a couple of ways you can crop. You'll see when you click on the crop that these little doodads come up, and you can just start clicking and sliding them around in order to find what it is that you want to crop. I'm going to cancel that. Let's just get rid of the... Alright, so we're back to the original. The other thing that you can do is just click and drag. Okay, now what you'll notice is that this is divided up into 9 squares, and this is the rule of thirds for those of you who are photographers. And basically what you want to do is draw the eye into the center of some of these squares, these rectangles. Okay, so once I've actually clicked and dragged, I can move this stuff around. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the sunset right in the middle of that bottom third, right in the middle there. Try and center that out. Right, and I'm just going to, I can either click on this check, I can click press the Enter key, whatever it is, it will crop. Okay, and that doesn't look too bad. There might still be a bit of extra space on here and up here, but look, you get the idea of what cropping is about. Again, I'm going to do Save As. I'm going to call it cropped, and we'll now have a quick look. There's the cropped. Let's look at the properties. Oh, it's 234 kilobytes, so I could do better than that. I could crop it a bit further, but look, the video is going to get really long if I do that, so I'm just going to go on to the next thing. And the next thing is changing the format. So I'm going to go open the original again. And the other thing that you might want to notice is that, look, I've still got access to all those photos that I've created based on the original one. They're just in different tabs, so I could still continue editing them if I like. Right, so changing the format. If I go File and I go Export, I can export as. Now you'll need to know something about file formats, and in this case, you've got PNG, JPEG, GIF, and SVG. I'm just going to choose GIF for the time being. I'm going to set it to 1/4 of the times the original. I might just change this as well, just to shrink it down a little bit. And go Export. And this will be sunset format. Click Save, and let's see what happens. Sunset format, and that's 173 kilobytes. So that's done enough. Now I'm not going to go into too much detail, but different formats, as you can see, it's actually lost some of its hue. Right, see how bright that is, and see how not so bright that one is. Right, so that's what happens when you change formats sometimes. The last thing I want to do is show you what reducing the quality does. So again, I'm going to open the original, and right, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to go File, I'm going to go Save As, and I'm going to say this is sunset reduced, as in reduced quality. Click on Save. Now you'll notice I've got some image options here, and in this case it's already been selected to low, and you'll see that my image size is 178.4. If I go to maximum, the maximum is 1 megabyte. If I go medium, that's 246.3. And you can actually see there's this little ticker that goes up and down as well, so you can actually use that to change the quality as well until you get it below your mark, which in this case is 200 kilobytes. That's pretty close. We'll go down one more, and that's 178. Click OK, and then have a look at the sunset reduced. And there you go, 164 kilobytes on disk. Cool. So that's 4 ways of, oh, I shouldn't have closed that. That's 4 ways of reducing your image size. You can crop out the bits you don't want. You can change the format of the image. You can reduce the quality of the image, or you can scale the image. So now you can go on and do the exercises on the rest of this. And yeah, good luck.